What a crazy month the last week has been.
Bayou Brian found his fairy godmother and left for LSU.
Then Notre Dame realized it's Freeman season and promotes the defensive coordinator.
All the while, ABC 57 has been following every new detail with the latest news and expert analysis.
ABC 57's Mary Coltrider gives a rarely seen look at the way we covered one of the biggest stories of the year. ABC 57 night team starts with breaking news as Notre Dame head football coach Brian Kelly is reportedly headed to Louisiana State University to coach the Tigers.
News of Kelly's pending departure has stunned the world of college football.
A lot still to unfold, and I think we're just getting started.
I've been speaking with a few fans here tonight, and they tell me they're shocked that he's reportedly leaving to LSU.
Live team coverage for you this morning.
Bombshell breaking news. Kelly signing a 10-year, $100 million contract.
It is now official. Brian Kelly, the new head football coach at Louisiana State University. This is huge news.
A busy 24 hours for Brian Kelly, eating with his players and then touching down right here in Baton Rouge.
Here comes Brian Kelly right now.
Oh, leaving is never easy. People will evaluate me and make their own decisions.
ABC 57 following more breaking news out of Notre Dame tonight. The university may be one step closer to finding a new head football coach.
I've talked to several sources throughout the day. Sounds like Marcus Freeman is going to be the guy that Jack Swarbrick chooses to be the next head coach of Notre Dame.
It's a new era for Notre Dame football. Marcus Freeman set to be formally introduced today as the 30th head football coach at the University of Notre Dame. What a welcome for the brand new head coach. This is a historic day for the university.
I am forever grateful for this opportunity. I'm ready to get to work.
Fans aren't happy.
For the very latest ABC 57 kickoff, host Allison Hayes joins us live in studio. We thought it was going to be a pretty slow night. We had pretty much our entire show ready to go. Right around 8:30, our digital content editor, he's checking Twitter and he goes, "Hey, I see this tweet from Yahoo Sports. Brian Kelly may be going to LSU."
It's been a crazy 24 plus hours at this point. You know, you started to hear like rumors and seeing some tweets and stuff earlier in the day, and then as it progressed and the day was getting later, it was like, wow, this has some traction.
Right now we have a team of reporters working to bring you the very latest information.
And then it was like, wow, okay, this is real. Dropped everything, came into the station, started, you know, texting, writing, tweeting, getting messages on the phone, like just, it's been crazy, and everyone wanting to know what's going on.
We've got former Domer and current NFL player Khalid Kareem with honestly the meme of the night. That is everybody's face. Irish fans truly still shell-shocked of the news. But
I had a chance to go home for probably an hour and a half, and then I saw on social media that the rumors had kind of started to get out of control.
And is Kelly going to LSU? What's going on with this? Is this true? We had a quick conversation about, is this rumor, is this fact? How much do we run with it? How far do we want to go with it?
And immediately I get a call from our news director, Kyle Fogarty, and he is breathless. And he's like, Tim, we're going to need this at the top of the show.
And then all of a sudden, I get a call, and everybody's saying that, you know, apparently Brian Kelly is going to be leaving Notre Dame, and so we ended up having to just turn in my package real quickly, and I had to come down to Eddy Street and talk to people.
I ran here in my pink fuzzy slippers, which thankfully I keep a spare, so I didn't go on the news with pink fuzzy slippers.
It was the night of pajamas, really. That's what I'll remember it as.
You're gonna ad-lib with Allison until it starts, so.
Okay, I can handle that. It is an exciting day.
Are you surprised?
As a University of Michigan fan, I'm somewhat surprised that Brian Kelly's leaving right now. Am I surprised that LSU wants Brian Kelly? No, not at all. We're still on top of the breaking news, the Irish goodbye. Brian Kelly leaving Notre Dame to become the new head coach at Louisiana State University, LSU.
Just took I have a super that says no decision made yet on interim coach.
You felt like Notre Dame was in a really good place.
We got a news release from Notre Dame. Does Brian have a cell phone? I'm going to text it to him.
It's somewhat unclear at this hour.
I can have a producer print it.
Yeah, do that.
For Notre Dame and fans here in South Bend, it all becomes about what happens next, right? Who is Jack Swarbrick going to find to fill that role?
Brian Kelly, leaving Notre Dame for LSU. 10 years, $95 million. He was getting paid $2.7 million annually, so you math wizards out there can do the math on that. But pretty crazy. I've been up 24 hours straight, haven't gone to sleep.
Why don't we have you do that? Why don't you go home now? Just make sure the presser, we have that somewhere.
Yeah,
I
can upload it. Yeah.
Let's upload that.
Overall, as someone who's watched Notre Dame football my whole life, absolute bombshell. This is absolutely crazy, to say the least.
My biggest question still is, he said in the press conference that his head coach showed signs to him over the course of the last couple of weeks that he was restless and that he had some Freudian slips here and there, and he had a sense that Brian wanted to leave, but he never had a direct conversation with his head coach about that.
We did book Anthony through Thursday. He'll be there for tomorrow, and then he'll come back home on Thursday.
Kobe called me into his office and he said, "Hey, what do you think about going to Baton Rouge?" And I said, "Why not?"
We're thinking he's going to be up front since he's going to be landing at 3-yard.
Brian, I had the chance to ask Kelly about his departure and what he thinks that means for his coaching legacy.
I was shocked that he left. Sports, there's always rumors and all sorts of stuff like that, but to see him actually leave the way he did after the time he had been here.
Back here. ABC 57 News, Anthony Tochi back at South Bend.
Yeah.
First and foremost, congratulations on finding the fairy godmother you talked about a couple of weeks ago.
I did, when I said that, I did kind of want a response out of it. Like, you just said this like 2 weeks ago, not even 2 weeks ago, that you weren't leaving, and now you're leaving.
He's the winningest coach in Notre Dame football history, and you just let him walk out the door without a counter, without a fight to keep him here. How does that happen?
Do you think you'll be able to catch a breath soon?
No.
Is the head coach of the University of Notre Dame football team. Not just quite yet, but we will keep you updated on all the announcements when that announcement does come in. And coming up at 6, day 4 of Brian Kelly, Notre Dame football, and soon to be Marcus Freeman breaking news. I am on very little sleep. I am highly caffeinated, rejuvenated, some may say.
I am headed to Huber Heights, Ohio. The reason I'm headed to Huber Heights, Ohio is to cover the family and friends for Marcus Freeman. This is about 266 miles. We're talking about 3.5, 4 hours of driving.
Well, his father says there may be something that we don't know about Marcus Freeman. Marcus Freeman's father, Michael Freeman, being able to talk to him and just kind of pop up on him at his house, and he answered the door.
This is a tough kid you're dealing with. And that's the type of individual he is, you know.
Marcus Freeman era, it's going to be huge. It's going to be big. It's going to be big time. It's going to be huge.
ABC 57 is monitoring breaking news this morning. Marcus Freeman, now the head coach for the Fighting Irish.
In a way, it was sort of a sense of relief. We woke up to the official tweet and then the official press conference email letting us know that Marcus Freeman has officially been named the next head coach at Notre Dame.
Marcus is the right man for the job, in my opinion, and we're in a new era of Notre Dame football.
The coolest thing really is that, you know, while Brian Kelly leaving could have been the worst thing that happened to Notre Dame, but instead they turned it into what could possibly be the best thing.
Marcus Freeman, formally named the new head football coach at Notre Dame.
In the grand scheme of things, I think Notre Dame is probably going to be happy that Kelly left when he did.
On my way to the presser with Anthony Totri.
And then another big thing would be, you know, it's so fresh in fans' minds the way that Brian Kelly left. So did any of them have the opportunity to talk to him personally, to talk one-on-one with him, to handshake with him, to get a hug?
Yeah.
Exciting.
Yes.
This is a big deal. This is a very huge moment in Notre Dame football history. You get to be a part of it today.
That'll probably finish up around 3:30, and then the fun begins of cutting packages and bow shots for the 5 and 6, and probably for the lates. The madness of this last 8 or 9 days can finally calm down a little bit.
That introductory news conference is coming up in about 15 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 30th head coach at the University of Notre Dame, Marcus Freeman.
My current and former players, you are my why.
But that their culture, that strength was going to remain. And what was important was to find someone that could be the guardian of that culture. I loved that.
To my kids.
He got emotional talking about his kids and that his kids never asked to have to share their dad. I'm getting choked up just saying it back. Like, I'm a mother of 3 and you feel that.
In closing, I'm ready to get to work.
Can you breathe a little bit? Let me get through this 5 p.m., 6 p.m. newscast tonight, and then I'm gonna breathe. Then I can get ready for the bowl game. We plan on to continue to give you the best Notre Dame football coverage you can find anywhere.
We will be disciplined. We will be tough. We will work tirelessly. But we will do it with the understanding that no one person, no one coach is more important than another. And as a team and as a family, we'll accomplish all of our goals.
And thanks to everyone behind the scenes who helps keep this house of cards standing.
Absolutely.
We'll be right back.